Welcome, John. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be here.
We appreciate you listening to the Word, and you've heard about our friends at Retirement Surety through the Word and through this program right here, and so it's good to have you along and joining us today. As you decided, John, to make the phone call to Retirement Surety, what sort of propelled you to go ahead and pick up the phone and push the numbers and get the ball rolling for you?
Good question. It actually was a year before I actually made the decision to pick up the phone. I think there were three reasons. Number one was the consistency of the advice. As I listened to the Word, I heard these guys giving the same consistent message month in and month out.
Yeah.
Number two, the fact that they were on a Christian radio station actually influenced me. I'm not Pollyanna enough to believe that every advertiser is perfect and perfectly motivated, but it made me feel more comfortable. And then number three, I think what finally propelled me to take action was in 2010 when the market correction came. I thought I was well protected. I was diversified in several mutual funds. And you know what? They didn't do any better than I used to do at picking. And I got sick of that.
I imagine so, John, and it's interesting as I'm getting to know these guys as well. I would think that as you made the phone call, you began to get some answers pretty quickly. And Ron Wills, I think, getting to know John and really seeing his situation, I mean, you brought it right out to the table to him, didn't you?
Well, I think when John and I initially sat down, I had one plan in mind that would work for him. And over the course of the next 90 days, how many plans did we go through, John? 3 or 4 before we finally settled on the plan that you currently have?
At least 4. And Ron, that was one of the things that I really appreciated is you gave me a couple, you treated me like an adult and gave me a couple different ways to get where I wanted to go.
Oh, that's always nice. Yeah, how would you describe, Ron, John, I'm sorry, how would you describe, we have Rons and Johns everywhere. How would you describe your first meeting with Retirement Surety? Just off the bat, your initial thoughts as you began to talk with Ron.
Well, I'm an introvert by nature, and so I'm always anxious about meeting new people for the first time. But Ron made it very comfortable. Met wherever I wanted to meet. I didn't feel any pressure, and I felt like I was talking to a friend. Sure.
Well, I knew when I met him the first time when he brought Starbucks in here, I knew I was going to make a friend already. So
yeah.
That really broke the ice.
Yeah, we met at Starbucks too.
There you go. See there. Guaranteed income. It's one of the signature products that Retirement Surety offers, John. As you know, what did you especially like about the guaranteed income asset for yourself?
Well, for me, it was that elimination of the downside risk. And the various options that Ron shared with me, they had differing levels of risk and reward. We are very risk averse, and we'd failed enough times at trying to pick and time market changes. The potential to perhaps go upward in good times, but the guarantee to not go down in bad times was very attractive for us.
And John, the other thing I think that appealed to you also was a new strategy that we just came across shortly before we met, and that was to turn that income stream on early.
Yes. And
start building that cash value, taking the cash value out, and in your case, you're not using it now. It's staying in your IRA, but you can use that money for other things, and it's going to increase your overall return when you get, if you live, you and Gail go into your late 80s, early 90s. And as the other big benefit is the first paycheck that you get from that guaranteed income is going to be the smallest one because they will go up every year.
Yes.
There's a gain in the market.
Ron, that's a great point. A couple of points you made there. Number one, the upside is very strong. The potential for 8, 10, 12, 14% is still there. And the other thing is, you made me aware of this and products like this that didn't exist 5 years ago. There are options now. The idea of turning on that income stream is unusual. I don't know if it's unique. it's unusual in the marketplace. Very attractive.
Mm-hmm. That was my last question for you, John, and we appreciate your time as well today. And that's this: before hearing about retirement surety here on the Word, had you ever heard of anything of this notion of the way that they structured your retirement income like this?
No, this is the first time that there were a couple of products, in fact, that Ron apprised me of, a couple of which didn't fit us quite as well as this one. Mm-hmm. But no, this was the first that I had ever heard of this kind of product that gives you a strong upside potential. As Ron said, the first check never gets smaller, and those checks start after about 12 months.
Very good. What a blessing to have these options during this day and time. Good deal. Well, John, we thank you so much for your time, and we're so glad that you teamed up with Retirement Surety, and we're just excited to see what's down the road for you. So thank you for joining us today on Consumer Magazine.
Thank you. I feel I've made some new friends.
Indeed. Thank you, John. Bless you.
Take care,
Bye,
guys.
John.